So the first thing we need to do to make our Catworm is we need to edit our sprite and how it looks. We're going to click onto costume, and here we are. Now what we want to keep is the cat's head. So we're going to click on reshape, and then you can see when I put my mouse over different parts of the cat, they're kind of highlighting blue. So I'm going to click on one and I'm just going to delete it. So I want to delete everything that's there. Make sure you get the white of his tail and the white part on his tummy as well. And all you want left with is the head. Now I'm just going to click back onto select here. Okay, so I have my cat's head and that's all that's left of him. Okay, so next thing we're going to go back and do is create a variable. So we're down on the orange bits here and we're going to click on make a variable. Now this is going to be the speed, and we're going to use this for how fast the cat follows our mouse pointer. So we're going to call it speed and then just click on OK. So you'll see that we have a speed here. So our variable has appeared on, we can move it around, but we want it to be a slider so we can control how the speed is generated. So I'm just going to double click on it again and again until I get at this, and you can see that I can drag the slider up and down. Now this is going to increase the speed at which the mouse is going to respond and follow your mouse pointer. Okay, so what we want to do now is to get our cat head to follow our mouse pointer. So we need an event that's going to start this off. So I'm going to grab and drag out when the green flag is clicked. Now I'm just going to increase my code here so you can see what's going on. So when green flag is clicked, I then want the cat head to forever follow my mouse pointer. So I'm going to go into the control section and just get a forever block. So that's going to do this forever. Now we've used this block before when we have got it to follow your mouse pointer. So we're going to go into motion, and we're going to get the point towards mouse pointer, and I'm just going to click that inside my forever block. And then I want to get it to move. Now I'm going to drag out the move 10 steps and click it underneath, and you'll see that my forever wrapper block will just expand to accommodate that. I don't want it to move 10 steps. I want it to move whatever the slider is at. So I'm going to go back into my variables, and I'm going to take my speed and I'm going to drag it and drop it into the little hole here. Now you'll see that when I offer it up, you'll see that I get a white highlight around it. Once I've got that, I can let it go. Now what I want to do is try that just now. So my speed is at 27, and you'll see that's awfully fast. If I reduce it down and do it again, you'll see that that's really slow at 1. So obviously, depending on what we change this to, depends on how fast our cat head is going to follow our sprite. What we also need to do is to rename our cat head, because at the moment it says sprite 1, and we're just going to come down here and call that cat head so that it will have a sensible name, and now we've got it to follow our mouse pointer. Okay, so now that we've done the cat head, we need to start thinking about the cat body. So we're going to paint a sprite, and this one we are going to call this body 1, because this is the first bit we're going to do of the body. And we are going to get an ellipse, and we're going to fill it black. And I'm just going to draw a kind of egg shape. I want to get another one. This one, I want to try and get this to be a kind of orange shade. So this is going to take a bit of playing about until you get a shade that you want. In terms of orange. Now I'm going to draw another ellipse. Now this will be a bit fiddly maybe, and you might just need to pick it up and move it around. Okay, so this is what I'm kind of looking for, with the black outline and an orangey inside. If it's not perfect, don't worry about it. Okay, so I need to get a line tool, and I'm going to draw a triangle here. Now all I'm doing is just clicking and dragging Make sure you make this a fill tool because I'm going to get the fill bucket and I'm then going to fill it with a lighter shade in the middle. What I'm going to do now is go to select. I'm going to draw around the entire tail bit, put it on here. Now I want to send that to the back. So up here, I'm going to send backwards and backwards again so that it goes behind everything. Now, when I come back to here, I'm going to move my head of my cat down. You'll see that this body part is massive compared to my cat. So I need to shrink it down. So what I'm going to do is go back into my costume and back into this sprite. Now what in here I'm going to do, make sure you're still on the select tool. I'm going to draw around it and then just shrink it down. Now when you let go on the left hand side, you'll see that it shrinks on the right hand side. Okay, so this is going to be the first part of the cat's body. So that looks like that might do. Okay, so we have a cat and its first part of its body. And what we're going to have to do now is to get the body part to follow the cat's head when it's following your mouse pointer. So what we need to do now is modify the code that we currently have for our cat head so that it sends a message to the body to tell it to come and follow it. So I'll make sure I'm on my cat head sprite. I'm in my events and I'm going to get broadcast message 1 and I'm going to add that into my forever block as well. I'm going to change that from message 1 to new message and I'm going to call this body move. So we're going to broadcast the message body move. So basically what we want to do is to broadcast that from the cat's head to the body part number 1. So I'm going to click on it and add some code onto it. So still in the event section, we're going to drag out when I receive body move. Now this code is very similar to what we had for the cat's head. So we're going to go back to the motion and we're going to get points towards and a move block. We don't want to point towards the mouse pointer. This time you want to point towards your cat head. We're not going to move 10 steps. We're still going to move the same as our speed variable. So we're going to go back into variables, drag out our speed, and just before, as before, we're going to wait until the white highlight goes round and then we're going to add that in. So what we want to do is test this to make sure that it all works as we're expecting it to. So that is kind of all right. If you take it any slower, it looks much better. If I increase it, it's not too bad. However, it's a bit jumpy at that, depending on how my mouse is going. Depending on where you've put your cat head and your body, you could actually find that they are touching one another. So that's the next bit of coding that we need to go and sort out to stop them bumping into one another. Okay, so what we're going to do then is add in a conditional statement in here. So we're going to go for an if-then block. Now, I'm not going to join it on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my 2 blue blocks and put them inside here and add that one here. The next bit I need to do is for this diamond shape. Now, what we want to do is stop the cat's body moving if it's touching the cat's head. So we're going to have 2 bits. So we're going to go into the operators and we're going to take the not. So basically, if it's not touching the cat head, then it's going to point towards the cat head at the same speed as our variable. So to get it to do that, we need to look at sensing, and we're going to take out the touching and offer it in. Now, exactly the same as the white highlighted line. Again, you'll get it round the knot and it will go in and make it one thing. Now, we want to change it from mouse pointer because we don't want to check to see if it's touching the mouse pointer. This should be touching the cat head. So if it's not touching the cat head, it's going to point towards the cat head and move at the speed of our variable. So I'm going to offer it up into here. Again, when I've got the white outlined highlight, I can let go and move it in. So I'm just going to move this over just so you can see how this works. So you can see that the body didn't move while it was touching the cat head. It didn't move, and only when the cat head moved away, it went, you can see it moves a wee bit smoother now as well. So the next thing we need to do this is to make the rest of the body parts. Now it's easy enough because this one has already been created, but we've called it Sprite 1. Should be body 1. So what I want to do is just duplicate these. So I just right clicked on it and duplicate, and you'll see that it's now named it body 2. I'm just going to make a whole bunch others. I made 6 and they're all over the shop. In fact, I'll go make 7. There we go. I've got 7. Now they're all a bit crazy at the moment, but when I press play, they'll all just jump into their proper order. So I'm going to click my green flag. Now you'll see that they did, but they're pretty much all on top of one another. So that's the next thing that we need to go and sort out. Okay, so body 1 follows cat head 1. Body 2 is also following the cat head. So to stop them all bunching up, what you want to do is to get it to follow the one in front of it. So I've clicked onto body 2, and instead of following cat head, we're going to change that to body 1 and point towards body 1. I'm going to click on body 3 and change it from cat head to body 2, because remember it's going to the body in front of it, and it's not going to point towards cat head, it's going to point towards body 2. I'm then going to click on body 4. It's going to point towards body 3, and it's touching body 3, so we've got that bit. Scroll down to get your next one. Now this is body 5, so it needs to be not touching body 4 and point towards body 4. Get the idea? So we're going to do this for all of them. I've now got 8 bits of body, so I'm now on body 6, and I'm going to get it to not touching body 5 and point towards body 5. Body 7 now, I'm going to change it to touching body 6 and point towards body 6. Last one, I'm on body 8. I'm going to check that it's not touching body 7, and I'm going to point towards body 7. So now when I run it, you see I've got them all trailing around after me. Okay, so now that we've got it to do that, the next thing we want to do is to make the body parts look a bit different from each other, because at the moment they're all exactly the same. So body 1, I'm going to go back into the costume. And what I'm going to do is add in a spot for different colour. I'll make that dark, but not quite black. And you can have some fun with this bit, guys. You can pick whatever colours you like. And I'm just going to put a wee dot on. I'm going to add another one. And they can be any kind of shape you want. You could even add your name. So you could have a letter. It's kind of hard to move it around. But you could actually have a letter on every single body part if you wanted to. Okay, I'll leave that up to you. You can have some fun with that. So for now, I'm just going to add dots onto every single one. So all I'm going to do is just click on each one. Okay, you can zoom in and out of here, so it might make it a wee bit easier for adding on your different coloured spots. Or you could do it through a paintbrush and pick a different colour again. I'm going to go this way this time and add in little splodges. Okay, so what we want to do then is work our way through adding in different colours onto each one of your body parts. You can leave some of them blank if you want. Okay. And we're going to do something for the last one, something a bit different. Okay, so once you're quite happy with them, that's you got them. Now the last one, what I'm going to do is make sure I'm on my select pointer. I'm actually going to delete this bit and just keep its tail. Now I'm going to make it a bit skinnier so it's got a kind of spiky tail. I'm going to grab the little arrows here and move it around. Okay, so you can see that it's kind of looking like that. Now my tail is a kind of strange because I wasn't perfectly across here, so I might need to wiggle it just a wee bit just to make it look as if it's actually going to fit on the tail of that. There we go, that's maybe a bit better. Okay, so that's me coloured them all in. So the other thing you can also do is resize some of your body parts so that they're larger at the head and smaller as they work their way down. So I'm on body part 7. I'm on my select, and if I draw around it, I can then make the whole bit a bit smaller and then go on to body part 6 and again draw around it. Okay, so you'll see that when you stop dragging it, you'll see it resizing on screen on this section here, and then you can go on and do the next ones so that you can kind of get them going up in size. Let's scroll back up here, body part 4. Okay, so you can muck about with the sizing of these to get them to look as if its body gets smaller as it gets towards the tail. Okay, so once you're happy with it, what you can do is test it out. Okay, now you can see that if I stop, my bits stop moving as well. Now I'm going to stop it just now. Over here we can see what we're currently looking at. So this is the section that we've currently coded with. Change your window here, so if you want more coding space to work with, you can do that. That's the default one. Or you can get rid of all of that and just go full screen. So this is good when you want to try out things and see how everything's going to work out. See how that's all following round. Okay, and you can see that when I stop here, everything stops. I speed it all up and everything goes really fast and crazy. So when I want to get this back out of this view and back into my other view, I'm just going to click this and that will take me out of full screen control again and back in here. So what we've created is a cat head with whole lots of body sections that will all just follow along according to your variable. Now you can see there's not much coding that went on with this. We had our forever block with following the mouse pointer and a variable to change the speed. We broadcast from the head to the rest of the body parts, and it was the same coding that we used for every single body part, and then just changed what it was touching and what it was pointing towards. So this would be a great character that you could have saved and then use it in other games if you wanted a kind of monster or something that would follow around your mouse pointer. So that is the tutorial done for how you create your cat head and your Catworm.